Let's go. Okay. Hi. Hopefully everyone has their exercise notebook already in place. And I will show you some very simple examples, and then I will show you that you can write certain functions, classes, whatever in a Python file, and you can import it into the tuw-python notebook and use it there. So let's start with this basic class definition exercise. We should create a class that's named A and define an init function for it that takes self as the first parameter as always, and takes a parameter and stores it in a value. So let's call this parameter param. And this parameter can be any type because the text doesn't say it has to be a string or an integer or anything. And we shall store it in self value. And we should also create a method called print value that will take our value and print it out. Simple enough. Let's run the imports. As you can see, we have an instance of A created, which has the value of ABC. If we would like to, we could do the same thing here, except that we need to change things up a bit. So we would have a default value for the class or an instance, and this value should be 42. This works just the same as you've seen in previous lectures. So there is no magic here. Default values can be set the same way. Keyword arguments can be set the same way. Easy peasy. Now let's jump ahead because I want to show you that you can write Python code in whatever editor you would like. If you have the file at the same path that you have your notebook in, you can import it very simply. So let's get back to the actual exercise. What's the text? So we should make a bunch of animals, and yeah, I think we should define an animal class for this. Luckily, we started to write it during the lecture, but we don't need any of those. So let's define an init. And what are the attributes that all of them have? Some of them have colors. All animals have age and number of legs. So let's say age is a positional argument and number of legs. It's going to be a keyword argument. And we should set self age to be age and self dot number of legs, number of legs. All right, and we should define make sound. I believe that's what the function is called. Yeah, most of these should be able to make a sound, so let's define it this way, and we will raise a not implemented error. The animal doesn't make a sound. Let's have it this way. Okay, save it. Let's go further. Cats and dogs have fur color attribute. Well, we might want to define a different class called mammals that takes after the animal and you can see that PyCharm will give you this warning that we did not implement the make sound method, and we won't bother with it actually. So let's define the, oh no, we don't need the init function, we just, or do we? What's this? Yeah, we need an attribute, sorry. So we will get age, number of legs, and I will set the default here for 4, just because it kind of makes sense. And we also want an additional parameter, which is fur. Oh, yeah, we should provide some type hints here. Age should be an integer as well.
Excuse me, I have a question to this.
Yeah.
In the instruction, it says age on, no, not age, but all the values in the constructor should have, the parameters should have default values. And so should we also do this for age, or?
Yeah. Does it say that they should have default values?
It just says use default values in the constructors.
Oh, yeah. All right, then yes. We will add it. I didn't remember that last part, but that's why you should read the instructions more so than I did. So fur can be a string or both. And for this type hint, we will have to import from typing, import tuple, and let's make it none. All right. That's all of it. And let's call the supers init function with the age and number of legs. What's the issue here? Yeah, it's not used. Then let's set it to self fur. Should be fur. And make it a bit prettier so we follow the coding guidelines. All right. We can save it here. And here, let's import these new things that we defined from demo. That's what my Python file is called. Import animal and mammal. Those are the classes, right? All right. And let's define a class for cat. Cat should be a mammal. We should be able to override the make sound function and prints meow. Yes, I think this is it. Now we have a cat. If we would try to create a cat, we can. Oh, it's not written here, but in these examples, you can see that each of these animals also have a name. So let's get back to our main classes here and let them know that they should have some kind of name. And set it. Should be name. And you will see something interesting shortly. Oh, we should pass it to. All right, we saved it. But still, if I would try to create this exact cat with the name parameter, we should have an exception because you need to restart the kernel if you made changes to the Python file that you are using in the backend. That's just something that you have to deal with if you are using other files that you are modifying while you are running your kernel. So let's restart. Yes. Let's import this again. And where are we? 2.2. Make this import again. And now we have a cat. Let's force it to make some kind of sound. And it will meow for you. Following these same steps, you can define dog, fish, eagle classes. And you don't have to follow this kind of principle with animal and mammal. You should have an animal, but you can have like a sound-making animal and have make sound there or define there. You can remove mammal and just define the fur color for cats and dogs. But it's cleaner if you try to group it in a way so you don't have to write the same code over and over again. The graded part is just after this, and you will have to write 3 classes here. It's just
someone asked that could you please share the code for the classes again? Because
yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know if I can also put it up maybe to the GitHub repository where the lectures are. But it's fairly simple.
I think you can continue because someone said thanks.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to add that if you want to use type hints, there are certain types that you have to import from typing or types. And if you are using tuple, dict, or list, you can actually specify the type of items inside those types. So the fur tuple should only contain strings, and you can define it using this syntax. If for some reason this would have a return value, it shouldn't. You can use this little arrow notation to note that what kind of return value is expected from this. All right, going back to the graded exercises, so you will have this, I think, fun exercise about recipes. And then there is some exception handling. You will need to create your own exception, define cascading exceptions, and use the finally block. And that's about it. If you have any questions now or during the lecture, you can ask it here in the Slack channel. If you ask it in the chat, the Zoom chat, we might not be able to answer it as soon, just because it might get lost if there is a lot of messages coming in. All right, I believe this is it for now, and I will stop the recording.